Yo, what's up guys? My name's Samuel Leeds. I'm a property investor and I really enjoy helping other property investors on their journey. So if you are an aspiring property investor or already investing in property, right now I'm going to do a Q&A. I do this every single Sunday. So let's have a look at some of the questions from the last Sunday video. And while I'm speaking, if you have questions that you want me to answer, comment them below in this video. And next week, I'll do my best to try and answer as many as I can. So let's see what we got. Can you explain sourcing in detail? Legally and processes, etc. And also, how old do I have to be to source? In a nutshell, property sourcing, I assume you're talking about deal packaging, okay? Which is when you source a property and then you pass it on to an investor for a fee. That's what it is. I did this when I was like 17, 18 years old. I would just find houses for people and then they would pay me a fee. I think that every property investor should be a deal packager as well, because the thing is, if you're out looking for houses for yourself, sometimes you're going to come across deals that don't work for you. Maybe the deal's too expensive, or maybe you've just found a deal and you've just offered on it and secured it, and then as it happens, you find another deal in the same day. It's like waiting for a bus. You know, you're waiting for a property deal and suddenly 2 or 3 come at once. Or maybe the deal just isn't in your patch or doesn't fit your strategy. And this is going to happen to you all the time. So my suggestion is look for properties for yourself, but then when you come across those other ones that are really good but just don't quite work for you, pass them to your network and charge a fee. It's just obvious. And then the money that you make from that, you'll be able to put them towards buying more deals for yourself. So I think everybody should be a deal sourcer. Also, if you're just starting out and you have got the knowledge and the skills but you don't have any money, it's a really good way, because ultimately an average property that you pass on to somebody for a fee, it might make you 2 or 3 grand. Which means that if you pass one property to somebody once a month, then you've replaced a full-time salary. So it's a really good way to replace a salary. I love deal packaging. So legally, what are the legalities of it? So if you're packaging deals and selling them to an investor, you do need to be compliant. And what that entails is insurance. You need to be part of a redress scheme if something goes wrong. You need terms and conditions. There are things that you need. So what I would suggest is I'm going to leave a link below with an Amazon link to Alistair's book. Alistair Cunningham wrote a book called Whatever It Takes. And in that, there's a chapter which is dedicated towards how to become compliant as a deal sourcer. So I'll leave a link in the book below. It's a really good book anyway. So that's the gist. The process is find a house, negotiate it. Once you've had an offer accepted, you then find an investor and then you invoice the investor, maybe get him to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, so that he can look at the property and he can do his due diligence on it and whatever. If the investor wants to go ahead, they pay you a fee. That's how it works. Really simple. Anyway, hope that helps. What else we got? Thanks for the great content. Question: how would you advise scaling up in property? Starting from just single lets and HMOs and eventually apartment blocks and serviced office blocks. Okay, so you'll always screw up on your first deal. So if you're wanting to scale and go big, what I'd say is I'd much rather screw up on a small deal than on a big deal. Just start small, like you've said. Just start with a little single let maybe. And then once you've done that and you've got some experience, go a little bit bigger and then a little bit bigger. But ultimately, if you want to scale, my suggestion is to use other people's money, to joint venture with other people. Because if you're always using your own money for deals, then it's just going to be such a slow process. And if you want to scale big, all of the guys that are scaling big, like Robert Kiyosaki, he scaled massive. Grant Cardone scaled massive. Me, I'm scaling massive. And we all do it by joint venturing with people, partnerships, using other people's money. But the only way you're going to be able to do that is by becoming really good first and getting a lot of experience. So that's my advice. Michael says, how would you go about finding £100,000 for a flat, then renting it out and refinancing it? Is it really that simple? It is really that simple if you know how to do it. You're not going to get £100,000 if you don't know how to do it. So you're going to need to have the skills of being able to find the good deal. As a property investor, the first thing you need to be able to do is find good deals. But if you're wanting to get £100,000 off somebody, write a proposal. Like if you're doing a business plan or something, and find a good deal, write a proposal and say to someone, look, this is the deal. This is what the worth of the apartment is. This is how much I'm going to be able to buy it for. This is the rent. This is the area. This is the expected capital appreciation. This is my due diligence, and then make a proposal. So maybe you want to say, I don't know exactly what you need the 100 grand for if you're looking to raise it, but put together a proposal and make it really specific. So you put the money in, here's the deal, and then we'll go 50-50 on the profits. Or I'll give you guaranteed 10% return. So just be really specific and be really clear and put together a clear proposal if you want to raise money. Okay, do you know if estate agents take brown paper envelopes from their developer friends to undersell properties? I'm sure it happens, but I don't think it happens very much. Estate agencies do have rules against that. The best way to get good deals from estate agents is to build rapport, be honest, and ultimately to buy from them. Once you've bought one deal from an estate agent, they see that you're serious, they see that you're a buyer, they'll just bring you all the best stuff. They don't need a brown paper envelope from you because they're getting paid from the seller, the person selling the house. So what they're looking for from you is they're looking for you to be a serious buyer, someone that can act fast. So as long as you can demonstrate that, you don't need to give them brown paper envelopes. So does it happen? Maybe, but not in my world of property investing. It does not happen. Okay, Ben says, I'm keen, interested in lease options. I was wondering if you signed the purchase to the property in 5 years. However, when the time comes to purchase, you don't have the money for whatever reason. What happens to the equity in the property? So a lease option agreement is exactly as you've said. It's when you buy a property now, but you pay for it later. If after the end of the 5 years or however long the term is, if you haven't got the money to buy it, then you have to walk away, unfortunately. So you don't get penalized, but you do lose the equity in the property. So you've got to buy it. So what I would say is in that 5 years, all the rent that you're getting off the property, put it into a pot and save it. And then use that to put down as the deposit in 5 years' time. Or raise the finance, or get a friggin' loan. I don't know, dude, but you've got 5 years to figure that out. So just make sure you have the money, otherwise you'll have still benefited from the cash flow, but you'll lose the equity at the end of the term. Okay, last question. What's your favorite app on your phone? YouTube. How could I say anything else? I'm on YouTube every day putting videos out. I'm also watching the videos on YouTube every day for inspiration. YouTube, probably followed by my banking app. Anyway guys, thanks so much. I hope you found that useful. Please do smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And if you've got questions, post them below. I'll do my best to answer. If you'd like to see something really inspiring, I went and moved into someone's house for a week. I made him financially free in 1 week. If you haven't seen that video, it's an hour and a half, so schedule to watch it, but it's right here. And if you want to come down to the Property Investors Crash Course, it's a free 2-day program on the house. You can get a free ticket right here, limited availability to do that right now. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already right here. Thanks so much. I'll see you next week.